Let's proceed to the next health-related fitness test, which is designed to measure your flexibility. The sit and reach test is a test used to measure the flexibility of your hips and legs. If these muscles are flexible, you are able to bend forward easily and move with ease. Examples of activities that involve flexibility of your hips and legs is the simple activity of picking up an object from the floor, or maybe even standing up with ease from a seated position. The only material you need is a yardstick. This is a large ruler that you can easily purchase from bookstores. If you don't have this available at the moment, you can just use your tape measure. The only thing you need to do is to secure the tape measure on the floor with the tape for it not to slip during your test. Note that you need to use the centimeter unit of measure for this test. This test requires you to have a partner who can assist you in keeping the results of your test. He or she will be the one to look at where your hand touches the yardstick or tape measure while doing the activity. You also need to take a short video of yourself performing the test as a means of evaluation that you truly performed it yourself. You can use a camera phone or a regular camera to take this simple task. Use the same angle that is shown here in the lesson today. Upload the video as well on the website as soon as you are done. In order to perform a successful flexibility exercise, observe the video and follow instructions properly to make the test highly accurate. Here are the general instructions to perform the test. Sit on the floor comfortably with your legs fully extended in front of you. The distance of your feet must be hip-width apart. Then, place the yardstick or tape measure on the floor. Position and level the 0 centimeter mark in between your knees. If you are using a tape measure, you need to secure this in place with the tape. Once in place, raise both of your hands above your head. Your hands must be positioned with one on top of the other. If you are right-handed, place your right hand on top of your left hand. But if you are left-handed, place your left hand on top of your right hand. As soon as you are in this position, you will take in a deep breath with your hands raised. As you slowly reach forward, you need to exhale to assist you with the forward bend. Reach as far as you can with fully extended arms and make sure your knees are not bending. Ask your partner to look at where your hands will land, particularly the exact location of your middle finger, which is the tipmost part of your hand. This is used as the basis for your sit and reach trials. Do the forward bends 3 consecutive times, and do not forget to inhale and exhale while performing the test. Record the highest score that you will get from the 3 trials. Here are other guidelines for your test to be more accurate. In performing the trials, you must make sure that your upper body, particularly your back, is kept straight at a 90-degree angle from the floor during the initial position. You also need to remember that once you reach forward, you need to fully bend your body towards the front. As much as possible, try to touch the measuring tape or the yardstick with your hands. Note that whichever measurement your middle finger comes in contact with the floor, that is the result of your test. Keep noting your score and only record the highest that you got in the fitness test results sheet. You can check how well you did in the chart, which determines your zone of flexibility based on national standards. Record your score on your fitness test sheet. An example is shown for you to better understand the test. John performed the sit and reach test, and he scored 14 centimeters on the first trial, 17 centimeters on the second trial, and 15 centimeters on the last trial. Based on this data, what score must John record in his fitness test results sheet? What range in the flexibility zone does his record fit in? Analyzing the data, John's highest score among the 3 trials was 17 centimeters. Since he is a male subject, he needs to take a look at the table for males. Comparing his results from the table, John's score falls in the 16 centimeters range. This then puts John in the high performance zone in flexibility. Now, how do you record your score in your fitness tests data sheet? Looking at the example given a while back, in the results table, John placed 17 centimeters. He also indicated high performance in the fitness zone. Record your sit and reach score the same way as John did. What score did you get? For the guys, did you find out that you are mostly in the ranges of low to good fitness zones? How about the girls? Did most of you do well in the test? As discussed in Lesson 2, females tend to be more flexible than males because of the composition of tissues in the body. Women are more flexible to give way for pregnancy because the bones and other complex tissues tend to adjust to accommodate the growing fetus. Remember that this test was designed to test only the flexibility of your hips and your hamstring muscles. This does not mean that if you are not flexible enough, you are not healthy at all. It only means that this is an area where you can attempt to improve on. What's the best way to improve on this component of fitness? Recall in Lesson 2 that the only activity you can do to improve flexibility is through performing different stretching exercises. Unlike the other components of fitness, you can perform stretching activities every single day, holding each stretch for 20 to 30 seconds each. You can improve your hip and leg flexibility by performing stretches like hamstring stretches. The first kind is the lying hamstring stretch. On a lying position, you will place both hands at the back of your right or left thigh. Then, you are supposed to bring your leg upward. As you do this, you must maintain a straight leg throughout the stretch. Second is the variation of the hamstring stretch called hamstring stretch with a towel. Some can barely extend their legs towards the ceiling. That is why a towel may come in handy to support this movement. You will be in the same position as your regular lying hamstring stretch. Place the towel at the bottom of your foot, then pull your leg towards your body using the towel. Also, try to maintain a straight leg throughout the stretch. Third is the seated hamstring stretch with one leg on the side. This time, you will be on a seated position. Extend one leg diagonally to the side, and keep the other leg bent close to the body. What you are going to do is to attempt to reach your toe as you bend your body forward on the extended leg. Another variation of the hamstring stretch is your standing hamstring stretch. This time, you are in a standing position. You will then extend one leg forward with your foot flexed. Bend the other knee while maintaining the extended leg fully stretched. After doing this position, you need to bring your torso forward to feel the stretch at the back of your legs. And the last variation for your hamstring stretch is the hamstring stretch on the chair. Some people can't perform stretches while lying down or standing. The best way to do this is to get the support from a chair to lessen the stress on the body. What you need to do is to bend one knee and keep your other leg straight. Flex your foot on the extended leg and place your hands on the bent knee. After doing so, you are going to bring your body forward towards your extended leg. Maintain your foot flex and your leg straight to feel the stretch at the back of your legs. Aside from your hamstring stretches, you can also try to perform some basic yoga poses to challenge your body's flexibility. Yoga poses like standing forward bends are easy to perform and can be used to release stress and tension from your body. This is where you begin by extending both arms towards the ceiling. As you do this, take in a deep breath. And as you exhale, slowly bend forward and attempt to reach the floor. Don't overstretch. Stop only at the point where you can bear the movement and feel no pain. Second is the seated forward bends. This is also a version of the hamstring stretch. Perform the same position that you did for the sit and reach test, but this time keep your legs closed. Reach up with both arms and inhale. As you slowly bend forward, exhale and attempt to reach your feet. Third basic yoga pose is the wide-legged seated forward bend. This exercise is almost the same way as your seated forward bend. Only this time, instead of your legs close together, you need to open your legs as wide as you can. Do not overstretch as well. After doing this initial phase, inhale and reach for the ceiling, then try to reach forward while exhaling. You will feel the stretch in the inner parts of your thighs and also a little at the back of your legs. And the last basic yoga pose is the wide-legged seated side bends. This is a different progression of your wide-legged seated forward bend. What you need to do is to stretch on one side of your body while also trying to reach for your toes. Perform this on both sides to create balance. Did you try doing some of the basic stretches and yoga poses? If you haven't, get up from your chair and at least try 3 stretching exercises. All of these sample exercises are ways to improve your lower body's flexibility. Try performing each for 20 to 30 seconds and repeat each exercise for 2 or 3 consecutive times. Make sure that when you are performing these exercises, you are breathing properly throughout the stretch. Do not overdo the stretches, as this might cause your muscle to tear and cause injuries. Only perform the exercise to a tolerable state. Doing these activities every day would surely improve your flexibility. As much as possible, try to practice them and maybe even experiment and look for other stretches that would increase your flexibility. We move on to the next fitness test, which aims to measure both your muscular strength and muscular endurance that target specific areas of the body. This part of the lesson will cover the push-up test and the crunch test. Get ready for some challenging workout. Let's begin with the push-up test. This test is designed to measure your upper body strength and endurance. When your upper body is strong, you are well able to perform push and pull movements in your everyday tasks. The execution of the test varies if you are a male or a female subject. Males will perform the military push-ups while the females will perform the modified push-ups. The equipment you only need is a stopwatch or timer and a mat to support you on the floor. In this test, for you to be able to concentrate, you would really need the help of a partner to watch the time of your test. Let's move forward to the military push-ups. In performing the military push-ups, here are some pointers that you need to remember for your test results to be more accurate. First is to proceed in the first position where you will support the body in a push-up position. In doing this, you need to keep your body in line with the floor horizontally while pulling away your belly off of the floor. Check and make sure that your ankles are directly placed above your toes and your toes are tucked directly under your ankles. Then, you need to place your hands just outside your shoulders with your arms fully extended. Check and assess if you want to either look straight on the floor or you have the option to look in front of you in case you feel dizzy. Now we go to the execution phase. Before you bring your body down, do not forget to inhale or take in a deep breath. Then, lower your body until the upper arm is parallel to the floor, or the elbows are bent at 90 degrees. Once you are in the downward phase, start pushing the floor upward and do not forget to exhale to help assist your upward motion. The way to count your repetitions is by marking every successful upward phase of the execution or every time your elbows lock and straighten. Since this test is designed to check your muscular endurance and strength, Continue doing this as many times as possible in 1 minute. Ask your partner to also count your push-up repetitions for your test results to be more accurate, in case that you forget counting along the performance of the test. You also need to take a video of yourself performing the test. Just like what you did with the other tests, copy the same angle that you are viewing from this lesson. It is important to note that while you are performing this test, you should not stop in between the push-up execution. If you find that somewhere in between the test you feel tired and you can't push through with the activity, you can stop there and immediately record your score. Your test results will not be accurate if your belly dips on the floor first and you did not maintain a straight line while proceeding to the downward face. It will also not be accurate if your arms are the only part of your body dipping to the floor and you cannot bring the rest of your lower body downward. Lastly, the test would be most inaccurate if your whole body touches the ground and you still keep pushing through with the test. These 3 guidelines should help you in performing the test more accurately. If you find that you are performing any of these things in your execution, you need to repeat the test and make sure to strictly follow the instructions. You can check the results of your test using the fitness zone chart, which classifies men by age group. The chart also includes specific levels of fitness based on the repetitions made for the test. Let's look at this very simple example for you to better understand how you can record your result. John is 21 years old and he was able to perform 18 repetitions of military push-ups for this muscular endurance and muscular strength test. Basing from the push-up standards, John falls under the age group of 20 to 29 years old. His 18 repetition result falls between the 17 to 29 repetitions. Therefore, at present, John's level of fitness for his upper body is on the average zone. This simply means that he has no problems with his upper body strength and endurance at the moment, but he still has rooms for improvement until he reaches the excellent zone of this fitness test standards. Basing from the example given, let's look at how this data should be placed in the fitness test data sheet. On the results column, write the number of repetitions John did for the military push-ups. Next is to check the standards for the military push-ups corresponding to his age. Then, write it under the fitness zone column. Once the 1-minute mark is done or once you already stopped, immediately record your score in the fitness test data sheet, the same way as the example given. How did you do? Did you have a hard time performing the test? Was it hard for you to be conscious about the proper position of your body? Did you stop somewhere in the middle? Or were you able to finish the test accurately for a whole minute? If you fall under the ranges of below average to very poor, this simply means that you need to develop your upper body's muscular endurance and strength. We'll get to this later in the lesson after we discuss the modified push-up for girls. Let's proceed now to the modified push-ups. It is a generally accepted fact in fitness that men have more upper body strength and endurance than females. This is why this test is modified to accommodate this gender difference. The performance of this test is almost the same with the military push-ups. It only differs in the initial position of the female subject. Let's take a look at the proper position for this test to be performed. First is that you will support your body in a push-up position from the knees instead of the toes. You are going to cross both your legs with your ankles placed directly on top of your knees. Also, keep your body in line horizontally while at the same time pulling away your belly off of the floor. Next is that you need to place your hands just outside your shoulders. The same way with the military push-ups, you should be looking straight on the floor, or you have the option also to look in front of you in case you feel dizzy. Always remember that before you lower the body, do not forget to inhale. Then as you lower, your aim is to keep your arms parallel to the floor with your elbows bent. Once you are on the downward face, start pushing the floor upward and do not forget to exhale to help assist your upward motion. You also have to count your push-ups, marking every upward phase of the execution or every time your elbows lock in its original position. You will then continue to do this as many times as possible in 1 minute. Now girls, it is important to note that while you are performing this test, you should not stop in between the push-up execution. If you find that somewhere in between the test you feel tired and you can't push through with the activity, you can stop there and immediately record your score. Your test will not be accurate if your belly dips on the floor first and you did not maintain a straight line while proceeding to the downward face. It will also not be accurate if your arms are the only part of your body dipping to the floor and you cannot bring the rest of your lower body downward. And lastly, your test will be most inaccurate if your whole body touches the ground and you still keep pushing through with the test. These 3 guidelines should help you in performing the test more accurately. If you find that you are performing any of these things in your execution, you need to repeat the test and make sure to strictly follow the instructions. You can check the results of your test using the fitness zone chart, which categorizes women by age group and their level of fitness based on the repetitions they made for the test. Let's look at this very simple example for you to better understand how you can record your results. In this example, Andrea is 18 years old and she was able to perform 28 repetitions of modified push-ups for this muscular endurance and muscular strength test. Basing from the push-up standards, Andrea falls under which age group? Looking at the table closely, she is between the 17 to 19 age category. After the test, which zone does her result fit in? If you answer that her result is in between the 27 to 34 repetitions, then you are correct. At present, Andrea's level of fitness for her upper body is on the good zone. This simply means that she currently has no problems with her upper body strength and endurance. But she still has rooms for further improvements until she reaches the excellent zone of this fitness test standards. From the example given, let's look at how this data should be placed in the fitness tests data sheet. Just the same with the guys, you girls should record your score this way. On the results column, write the number of repetitions Andrea did for the modified push-ups. Next is to check the standards for the modified push-ups corresponding to her age. Then, write it under the fitness zone column. Once the 1 minute mark is done, or once you already stop the test, immediately record your score in the fitness test data sheet, the same way as the example given. How did you do? Did you have a hard time performing the test? Was it hard for you to be conscious about the proper position of your body? Did you stop somewhere in the middle? Or were you able to finish the test accurately for a whole minute? Girls, do not worry if you fall under the ranges of below average to very poor. Women generally have weaker upper body strength and endurance compared to men. This is because men have more muscle tissues in this area of their body compared to us women. But this fact does not mean that you cannot improve on this component of fitness. You can still do by performing exercises that target this part of the body. Do you still remember the best exercise to improve your muscular strength and endurance? Can you still recall that specific type of exercise that targets your muscles? If you answered resistance training, then you are correct. What are the 2 types of resistance training? Can you still remember them? Recall that the best way to actually improve these components of fitness is by performing different resistance trainings like body weight training and weight lifting to inhibit muscular adaptations in the body. Feel free to look at these different exercises that can help improve your upper body strength and endurance. They work best whether you are a guy or a girl because these are basic exercises for your resistance training. A lot of professional athletes still use these basic exercises in their training and performance. They may look simple, but with the right amount of load, this could be very challenging. Try some of these different exercises that are focused on different muscles of the upper body after the lesson. These exercises are for your shoulders. You will notice that there are dumbbells being used, but you can try performing along while listening to the guidelines. Remember that an added weight is an added resistance to your body, but you can still do the exercises with me on your seat. Just try them out and feel which muscles of your shoulders are being activated through the movements. First is your shoulder press, an exercise that targets all muscle groups of your shoulders. Simply get a set of dumbbells and place them at shoulder level. Once you take an exhale, bring the weight upwards, then return to its initial position. Second is your lateral raises. This exercise also particularly targets the muscles at the sides of your shoulders. The initial position is to place your arms at the sides of your body with the dumbbell in your hands. Upon doing this, exhale as you bring both your arms to the sides with slightly bent elbows. Then, return to your initial position. And lastly is your front raises. This time, this exercise targets the muscles at the front of your shoulders. The initial position is to place your arms in front of your body with the dumbbell in your hands. Upon doing this, exhale as you bring both your arms to the front with slightly bent elbows. You can perform each of these exercises for 15 repetitions of 3 sets. This means that you will do a total of 45 repetitions, which is enough resistance for your body to improve muscular endurance and strength. Did you feel your shoulders at the front, back, and sides? If you did, then you followed instructions correctly, and eventually you can use this exercise with a resistance or an added load to your body to inhibit more improvements with your muscular endurance and strength. Other exercises that target your upper body are exercises for your triceps. These are muscles at the back of your arms that are responsible for assisting in your different push and pull motions. Again, try performing along by following the movements even if you don't have an available equipment with you. What's important is you are activating the muscles for these exercises. First is your tricep extensions. This exercise works best in targeting your tricep muscles. You can do this with both arms simultaneously, or you can isolate one arm then the other. Let's explore the double arm tricep extension today. On your seat, place a weight in your hands, if something around you is available for the extra load. Now, try to bring this load upward by raising both your arms up towards the ceiling. As you take an inhale, bend your elbows with the weight going towards your back. And then as you exhale, extend your arms upward with the weight still in your hands. In doing this activity, be conscious and feel the stretch at the back of your arms. And lastly, another exercise for your triceps and parts of your shoulders are bench dips. This not only targets your upper body, but also parts of your abdominals and your lower body. The initial position is to find a bench stable enough to support your weight. Place your hands on the bench and bring your body off of the bench towards the front. The same with your push-ups, you simply bend your elbows and press upward for the end position. Did you feel the muscles at the back of your arms? Was it challenging to perform these tasks? Again, perform each exercise for 15 repetitions and do it for 3 consecutive sets. Do not forget to rest in between the sets to provide your body the time to recover. Let's now proceed to other exercises that improve your upper body's endurance and strength. Another exercise for your upper body's endurance and strength is the bicep curl. This targets your bicep muscles that are located at the front of your arms. The initial position is to hold the dumbbells with both hands. Place your arms at the sides of your body with your elbows in contact to your sides. The end phase is when you bring the dumbbells towards your body while bending your elbows. Upon executing this, you slowly bring down the weight down to its original place. Next is the chest press. This may be done using a chest press equipment or also with a pair of dumbbells. Let's explore this exercise with the use of dumbbells instead. Find a flat bench where you can lie down and rest your back. Upon getting into this position, bring your feet down to the floor with your back fully extended. Place the weight in your hands and bring it close to your chest. From this position, start to open your chest and bring the weight to the side of your body in line with your shoulders. Avoid your elbows from dipping to the floor and maintain a horizontal line with your arms. As you exhale, press the dumbbells upward towards each other. Then return to your original position. Lastly is the bench press, the most basic upper body exercise that all men like. The best way to perform a bench press is with the use of a barbell placed on a rack. You simply bring your arms upward and perform it the same way as you perform a chest press. All these exercises are sample exercises that you can do to improve your upper body strength and endurance. The usual repetitions and sets for beginners is to perform 3 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions each. This way, you are challenging your upper body muscles to take on the load that you placed on it. Which exercise seemed interesting for you? Are you worried because you do not have an equipment for these exercises? If you currently don't have these in your home, what you can do is to enroll in a gym and ask for assistance how you can perform these activities safely. If you don't have the means to do this, you can still perform the exercises using homemade weight training equipment like simple bottles filled with water. Remember, just because there isn't an available equipment to use, it doesn't follow that you make an excuse. What's better is that you make time and effort to pursue these activities for yourself. We are done with numerous fitness tests that evaluate your body's composition, cardiorespiratory endurance, flexibility, and upper body strength and endurance. This time, we focus on the last fitness test, which aims to determine your abdominal muscles' endurance. This test is called the crunch test. The crunch test is designed to measure the endurance of your abdominal muscles. This makes you relatively aware of how good your center of gravity is and how well you can balance your body while at rest or while in motion. This simply means that if you have good muscular endurance in your abdominals, you have a good sense of balance and you are able to perform numerous tasks that involve movements. Since the body is made to move in numerous directions, our center of gravity tends to also shift with these movements. If you have strong abdominal muscles, you can easily maintain your body's upright position, whatever position you find yourself in. The only material you need for this test is a stopwatch or timer. This will be used to time your test the same way that you did in the previous fitness tests. You might also need the help of a partner, who will be of great help in watching over the time of your test and also in counting the number of repetitions you will do in the execution. Just the same way that you did with your push-up tests, you will perform the crunch test with as many repetitions as you can in a full minute. These are the guidelines that you need to follow in order for your test results to be more accurate. Simply lie on the floor with your legs bent at a 90-degree angle. While in this position, your feet must remain flat on the floor. Next is that you need to place your hands on top of your legs with your palms facing down and your fingertips are extended towards your knees. During the execution, you need to take in a deep breath with your back flat on the floor. After taking in a deep breath, you need to slide both your hands on top of your legs, attempting to reach your knees by bending your abdominals forward while exhaling through the motion. As you do these steps, make sure that your feet remain in contact with the floor or the test will be inaccurate. You need to count the number of repetitions you make, and you can do this successfully by counting the upward phase of the test. The upward phase is when your hands have already touched your knees. Once you are in the execution phase, continue doing this as many times as you can in 1 minute. Your tests will be inaccurate if you crunch through the neck. Use your abdominals to perform the bending motion of the test and not your neck. This will be very strenuous for your neck muscles and it will be very painful for you afterwards. Second is if you did not slide your hands towards your knees. This is when you simply tapped and reached for your knees at a very fast pace and you return to your initial position. Third is when your feet are moving off of the floor. It must stay in its exact position the same way that you started the test. Your feet must not separate during the execution of the test, and it must not also overextend or overly bend when you are trying to do the crunches. Lastly, your tests will be inaccurate if you stopped in between the test interval. Just the same with your push-ups, this test is designed to measure your endurance. This means you should be doing the task continuously for a full minute. Once you find that you are already tired and you cannot finish the full minute, it's alright. You can just stop and record your score immediately. If somewhere in between the test you stop, the test is finished, and whatever results you have, that is your score for the test. After the test, you can check the results from the table. The standards for males and females vary. This is because in this avenue of fitness, performances of men and women vary on different occasions depending on the type of sport or activity they are in. Let's look at this example so you would better understand how to record your test. John is 21 years old and he tried to perform the crunch test to determine his abdominals endurance. After the 1 minute mark, he was able to get a score of 62 repetitions. Understanding the data, under which age group does John belong to? What is his current fitness zone based from his performance? The answer is that John falls under the age group of less than 35 years old. Looking from the results of his test, which is 62 repetitions, the table shows that John's test falls under the category of greater than or equal to 60 repetitions. From the data gathered, we can conclude that John falls under the excellent fitness zone. Guys, what were your scores? Did you yield the same results as John, or was your performance lower than his? Was the test easy to perform, or did you find it very challenging? Were you able to finish the full minute, or did you stop somewhere in the middle? Do not forget to record your score on the fitness test data sheet. We will look into this further after the female crunch test standards. Now, here are the crunch standards for women. Notice that the number of repetitions that women perform in the standards are lesser than men. If you are a female subject, this is the test result which you will base your fitness zone in. Follow the same instructions that was mentioned in the example a while ago for the recording of your performance in the fitness test data sheet. Knowing all these values, let us now take a look at how the result of the test should be placed in the fitness test result sheet. On the results column, write the number of repetitions you did for the test. And on the fitness zone column, write the result of your test based from the national standards of your crunch test. How did you do in the crunch test? Were you able to finish the full minute? Did you stop in between? Did you accurately follow the guidelines in performing the test? From the result that you got, were you in the average or normal zone? Or your endurance is below the standards? Whatever your result is, that is your current abdominal endurance. Record your score on the fitness test data sheet the same way as John did in this example. You can improve on this component of fitness by doing some basic abdominal exercises. But the most effective way on improving your abdominal endurance is by performing the plank pose. The initial position of this is you lie flat on the floor facing the ground. Then you slowly lift your body in one line and concentrate your strength in your abdominals. You must make sure to maintain this horizontal line intact. You must also make sure not to sink your hips and your belly in the middle of the pose. And lastly, you must always be conscious about removing the weight of your body from your arms and legs and place it on your abdominals instead. You can do this successfully by sucking your tummy in towards your spine. This pose is not only designed to target your abdominals, but also the whole of your body. It aims to stabilize your core and strengthen the muscles surrounding it. You can do different variations of the plank pose, like your elbow or forearm planks, which is the most basic plank pose. Another one is your straight arm planks, where you extend your elbow and increase the lever of your body, mimicking the initial position of a push-up. And lastly is your closed feet planks. The position of your feet can directly change your center of gravity. The smaller the distance of your feet, the lesser area for your center of gravity is available, which makes your abdominals work extra and gain more challenge in the activity. Another variation of your planks are your side planks. This time, the position involves you to be in a sideward position. If you will start at the right side of your body, your right foot should be just under your left foot and they should be stacked together properly. If you will start at the left side of your body, your left foot should be under your right foot and both your feet must also be stacked together. Just the same with your regular planks, you can change the lever of your body and focus more on your center of gravity when you change the position of your arm or your feet. If you put one leg up, it will challenge your core. Also, if you extend your elbows, it will also do the same. How did you do with all your tests? Were most of your results in the average range? Or it's falling behind in most of the standards? Did you find out if you are strong in one component or in several? Did you also find out where you are weak at and where you can possibly improve on? From the observations that you have, write a general description about the following questions at the bottom part of your fitness test results sheet, just like this example. For question 1, what are the fitness tests or tests where your fitness zones are excellent, good, or above average? For question 2, what are the fitness tests or tests where your fitness zones are below average or poor? For question 3, what is your fitness goal? And suggest activities that you can do to work on these goals. Those are the different fitness tests for your health-related fitness components. If you're still wondering why you need to perform these tests, again, here are the reasons why. Determining your fitness level puts you on the map on achieving your fitness goals. It sets the basis for where you are good at and where you can possibly improve on in your health and fitness. Second is that it helps you become aware of your current fitness level, how your physical body can withstand loads that are placed upon it on specific occasions. Lastly, and probably the most important, is that these tests let you know if you are at risk for any health-related diseases. I hope you learned a lot from today's activity. Do not forget to submit the following requirements. First is your fitness test data sheet with all the complete data and results from the tests you took today. Second is the uploaded photos of your weight while you are on the scale, as well as your waist measurement and hip measurement, following the same angles of the snapshots that you saw a while ago. Lastly, your uploaded videos for the 3-minute step test, sit and reach, push-up test, and crunch test. Do not forget to follow the same angle of your videos from the lesson today. All of these things must be uploaded on our website for you to be evaluated for this lesson. Remember that these activities are equivalent to 30 points and is considered as a major activity of the course. Good luck, and I hope you will enjoy performing the different activities. Until next time!